I think today I'm going to share with you something, simple idea, a technology rather, and that's how AI can help you guys to make your life easier and screen at rocket speeds. So I'm Praveen. I come from a company called AIDETIC. So we are a 4-year-old AI/ML company. We've been helping startups across the world, 30 plus startups across the world, to build their AI/ML products. So what we've been working on the last 1 year is a product called Friday. So we also have a booth there. Feel free to have a demo. So, and that's my QR code. I'm active on LinkedIn. If you guys want to connect with me later on, just scan it and connect with me. So I'm going to talk about two problems. These two problems is basically, one is abundance, another one is scarcity. And I think we sort of, as people, walk in between these two problems, and the balance of it is what sort of makes us going. And I'll tell you what that means in a minute, right? So what is the problem of abundance, and what is the problem of scarcity? This is a problem of abundance. So just in January, there was around 3 crores open jobs in India. That's just India, right? And these are just registered jobs, probably a bunch of blue collar and white collar jobs. And but that's not even the problem, right? So that's the problem, right? But for every single job that you post, you probably get average 75 applicants. But even that's not the problem. So the actual problem is this: 80% of your time goes into evaluating resumes that are not even updated, pretty old, and you're screening old CVs, and you're calling up people and like ghosting. So ghosting is a term that actually came out of the dating, where you have a date but the date doesn't show up. So that's something that came out of the dating world. And so this is probably a HR feels like, right? And before that, can I just have a quick show of hands? How many of you guys hire for yourself? Just quick show of hands, like your company. Got it. And how about you guys who hire for other people, like RPOs? Cool, got it. So what's a crowd like? Are you guys? And I also having a conversation with some of you guys, and they were like saying we are into payrolls and all that. So is it like a diverse crowd, or so are you like, just want to understand the demographics here? Are you just HR, or are you in like a multi-level? So what about you, ma'am? What do you do? TNI. Diversity. Oh, got it. So, all right. So let's probably, right. So if you are a HR and you're probably like, why is it a problem, right? So it's a problem because you are spending a lot of time, and that time is around 50%, trying to schedule, screen, and sort of calling these people, and you end up being getting tired. You're just wasting time, and that time could be spent on more relevant things, right? And so that's the other end of the spectrum, and this is actually problem faced by RPOs. So RPOs are companies that hire for other people, right? And so how generally bigger companies work is like, let's say Google, Amazon, these people float out their requirements to multiple RPOs, and RPOs try to get into the candidates, right? Like getting there first matters. So on one hand, you have applicants like coming to you, and on the other hand, you have RPOs trying to get to these candidates. So that's like inverted funnel sort of a thing. And what are the problems faced by the RPO? So, like I told you, right, competition. And in RPO, it's generally the winner takes it all. So let's say and the magic 8.33%. If you guys are aware of RPO percentages, so that's how they make. That's how much they make for a certain job closure, right? So it's either they take it or they don't take it. And another very important problem that we were actually discovered while we were having these pilots in these RPOs is the language, right? So, majorly it's English, but let's say you're hiring for a role that needs Japanese, right? So what happens then? You need to hire callers or interviewers who knows the language. So it means your operating costs are really, really high. And again, the scoring. So the scoring is basically when you get the resumes, you need to score them based on whom you're going to call, and are they going to be a good fit or not, right? So like there are like a multitude of resume formats, PDF, video, pictures, whatnot, right? And how do you really grade them? So that's like a big problem for RPOs. And so how can AI solve these problems? I told you two problems. So one was, if you recall, so one is you need to have, so HR hiring is a sort of a elimination game where you have a lot of unqualified leads or candidates. And another problem is you need to get to these candidates fast and quick, right? But before that, I was talking about conversational AI. What is conversational AI? And okay, so there was supposed to be an image. It's just basically, this is like a tin robot, and this is Sophia. So how many guys know of Sophia, the AI bot that can talk? Yeah, some show of hands, right? So she's very intelligent. So basically, AI conversation is something that, it's the ability of a computer to make conversations with you. So probably, you guys are using Siri or Google Assistant, Alexa, things like that, right? So they take in orders. But the conversational AI is something that is a step ahead, which actually can make conversations with you. And this has been in the works for the last 20, 30 years, and right now we are in a stage where this actually works, right? And which is why we thought, oh yeah, that's Sophia, by the way. And
Hey, I'm Anusha from AIDETIC show you a demo this is an automated initial screening call regarding your application for the role of a data scientist.
The Friday and the candidate
Our team will reach out to you based on your responses. Is it a good time to talk?
Audio?
Yes, please tell me about it.
Thanks. For how long have you been working in the field of data science?
I've been working for over 3 years now.
Sounds good. Do you know the difference between variance and bias?
Yeah, I can tell you the difference. In case of underfitting models, we see that the bias is high, and in case of overfitting models, we see that the variance is high.
Got it. What programming languages are you comfortable with?
I'm comfortable with Python mostly.
All right. Could you briefly describe one recent data science project that you have worked on?
All right. So, not to bore you with a 2-minute long audio. So it's like already getting boring for you guys, right? Because this is what HRs go through daily, right? Day in and day out. And this is exactly what this bot can solve. So this bot is basically having a conversation with the candidate, and it's just not a recorded voice, just that, blah, blah, blah. But it's actually a conversation. For example, if it calls you and asks, is it a good time to talk? And you tell her that, no, it's not a good time to talk. Then it decides that it's not a good time and asks you, what would be a good time, right? If you say that it's 5 p.m. in the evening, and then it calls you at that point of time, right? And not just that, this is something that we been asked a lot from these RPOs and HRs who are like hiring. They want analytics, right? Like everything's data driven, and today, right? Like, but so basic, like, you guys were, I mean, it's amazing, the speakers before me, the Bank of Maldives and Airbus. You guys do a lot of, keeping talent, talking about attrition, things like that. But how do you get them into the funnel, right? So that's the part that we are solving, like getting those people into the system, and then you can talk about these things. For that, you need analytics, like when is a good time to talk, like when is a good time to call, right? And so let's say here it has a score of 92. So you know that you need to call them first, right? And there's a score of 57, just like average, but let's say if there's a score of 30, you're not even going to call that. So it saves up your time. And not just that, but it can also connect with your calendars and automatically schedule interviewers. Like let's say if you have a candidate and you want to match an interviewer, so it automatically checks the calendar and sets up the interviews. It can do follow-ups. You can also do, so ML you'd have heard, right? Machine learning. So it gets better. As you talk, as you implement this solution in your company, and it learns more about your company, your candidates, and whatnot, right? So it gets better. And rejection. So a lot of candidates, don't get a rejection letter, right? I mean, and companies, we have like a policy saying that if you don't hear from us from 2 weeks, consider that you are rejected. But what if there was a way to just tell them that you're not going through forward? At least they will probably go elsewhere, right? So that's you're doing a favor. And all these bad reviews on Glassdoors are by people who don't get the reviews. And that's something that, and if you have people when they generally have a response, like a decision, they're happy. So we've seen that we've gotten 3x more qualified candidates, and if TAT reduces by 25%, and cost per hire is by 20%. Of course, it drives up productivity. You have a lot of other things to, time in your hands to do, like the important stuff. So is that all? No, but we also do resume parsing. Like let's say you're hiring, you can connect to job boards like monster.com, Cutshot, and get those resumes, put it in the pipeline, automatically, give the ranking, call them, schedule them, get reminders, the overall, right? And then you take over. And it's like, and we're not replacing any HR or human, but it's an assistant tool, right? Like that will help you be more productive. And yeah, compliance is also something that happens a lot. So recently, we signed our some documents, sexual harassment documents and all that. I had my HR call me like 4 or 5 times, right? And I did sign it up, but because I was traveling, I couldn't, sign it and give it. So these sort of document collections could also be a great use case for this. And sentiment analysis. When you're talking, right, your voice goes ups and down, and that you can determine if that person is actually lying. Are they going to join? Not going to join? Are they interested? Like whole bunch of it. And EX is actually the employee experience. I talked to you about the compliances, right? So you can also add this part of your employee experience where you have some poll, something, some conversation going on, whatnot, right? You guys are working on a lot of these initiatives. So this could play a part. And the good thing is you can reach out to 5,000 employees in a matter of 2 minutes. It can call simultaneously, right? So you get your job done, that's it. And yeah, who's not on WhatsApp? Everyone is on WhatsApp. It also integrates to WhatsApp. So before you call them, you send them a message saying that, hey, is it a good time to talk? If you don't want to talk, call me at this time. What is the time you want to call? So that's some integration that it's possible. So why voice, right? Everyone is on chatbots and things like that. But the thing is, voice has over 90% open rate. So you're more likely to pick up a call than to say email or a WhatsApp message. And still, SMBs use up to 68% to use phones to call their candidates. So that's us. Thank you so much for your time.